You know what's weird is that we got a text yesterday from the National Disaster Management. Everybody got it.
Okay.
And I gotta look this up again. NDMO live tsunami drill on Tuesday, October 17th. Sirens will be activated. Selected schools and agencies will be evacuated. Public not required to evacuate. So that was today. And then today we felt the earthquake.
Oh, yeah. And also, pretty
Dude,
sure
I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I was actually thinking this. What do you think?
What?
No, it's probably unrelated, but what? I know, right? I'm I don't know, man. That's weird. 2 o'clock today, we got a text about tsunami. 9 o'clock tonight, we feel an earthquake. I'm I don't know, dude. I'm just saying, look into it. All right?
Oh my gosh, look into what?
I don't know. I'm just saying, look into it.
Okay, let's be real. The more concerning thing is it was a drill today. And
No, today was a warning about the drill. And then a real earthquake happened tonight. And tomorrow is the drill.
Well, we'll see. If the children at the school have to deal with the drill, we'll see.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that me and Tui are headed to the ocean side tomorrow, which should be great.
Oh, that's right. We have our first actual Waka Media job that we're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond that, it might be the last time you see us. I'm just saying.
Actually, the worst thing was John and I were on a holiday. I can't remember when this was.
Yeah, we were staying at Radisson Blue, and it was $80 a night.
Yeah, I think it was our first year here, and we had those 2 cyclones, and then we were out in Radisson Blue. We're finally on holiday, just me and John, and then tsunami warning comes in, and because we'd had such natural disasters that year, we were okay, let's get out of here. We were game plan.
Okay, we got to get out of here. Let's watch Netflix and chill hard. That's pretty much what happened.
No, I thought we went downtown. I thought we brought our bags.
No.
No?
You're well, we'll just get ready and just keep our eyes on the ocean.
That was a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was a terrible.
Actually.
Dude,
because
Denarau
in
would
Denarau,
get
you're screwed.
Destroyed. All of Nandi would be destroyed.
I'm not saying
actually.
Don't holiday there. I'm just saying, if there is actually a tsunami warning there,
You should probably leave. Don't
get out.
Don't do as I do. Do as I say.
Yeah. Leave quickly. Just go wander around town. Just get away. Go somewhere else for a while. That place is wiped out for sure.
Oh, Denarau's done. It's not built for natural disasters.
Well,
they're there to cash out quick in between tsunamis.
Well, and also even now, the way apparently they've built Denarau. This is just from what I've heard. I've never looked into this.
You're just saying look into it.
I'm just saying look into it.
Yes.
That when they made the man-made island, Denarau, for those of you who don't know, is kind of the big tourist area in the city of Nandi, which is the international
town of Nandi.
It's a town still?
It's a town.
Oh, I think it should be a city by now. It's pretty big.
No, it's not really that big.
Oh.
It goes from the temple to the bridge.
Oh, I guess it feels big when I'm there. But that's where the international airport is. And then when they built Denarau, which is a man-made island with all the big resorts like Hilton and Sheraton and Radisson and all those kind of brand name resorts, when they did that, they did some kind of weird trenching that now the jetty out to the ocean and stuff, there's too much water flow or something of that sort where the river in town floods, so town floods now, where it used to not do that. That's what I've been told. Where Nandi town before Denarau didn't go underwater so much, but now that the man-made island is there, something's off within how the water flows, and so town floods.
Well, because where the Nandi River Delta comes out into the ocean, there's not a lot more soil out there, so it doesn't allow the water to go out as quickly.
That's right.
Yeah. I was one of the engineers working on that job, and it was just I mean, I don't know. I told him. I told him. I said, it's a bad idea. Nandi Town is never going to be underwater more than it is today, and you guys are
okay, but look at a resilient business.
So now we have to dredge every year.
Oh my goodness, it's just yeah.
That's the only way to mitigate the damage to the local civilians.
Yeah, so maybe don't believe everything.
Is dredging.
You have no idea.
No idea. I sound very convincing.
I was going to say, look at all the business owners in town, in Nandi. They're the most resilient business owners in the world because every few years they go underwater.
It's true.
And they have to either like get up all their stuff off the shop floor and get it out of like harm's way, or it gets soaked and they have to try and dry it out and sell it as
Yeah, there's
is.
multiple times when we like, because I used to live in Nandi, where like there would be only the top roof of the bus station showing, and like people would just be like on top of the roof of the bus station.
Did.
But Lambasa did that too.
Not that high, did it?
Yeah, like where Tui was staying. He was like, it went up to the second story, right? In Anna, yeah,
In Anna?
yeah,
Really?
not Anna,
Oh.
Anna.
Are we talking about the same thing though?
I don't know.
Actually, this is a constant for me. Like in St. Ganga, there is a grocery store there, and it's called
Ramjatan.
Ramjatan. And that's how I say it, is I'm going up to Ramjatan.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I say it right, because I'm kind of like trying to muddle the N and the M together, because I'm not sure if it's Ramjatan or it's Ranmajatan.
Do you open carry and say God bless America while you go to Ramjatan?
No, because I'm not American.
You patriot? What? Ramjatan. Let's head over to Ramjatan. Yeah. Yeah. Stick them up.
Nobody has guns. Speaking of that, on the live today, I was so mortified
Ramjatan.
when you're like, oh, should the police in Fiji have guns? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, shut your open mouth, please. Don't say that.
It's something to consider.
No, they should not have guns.
No? How about the highest ranking officers?
No. They're not trained for that.
Put my gat out on you, bro.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't trust that. They need to go through like way more training for.
What is the police academy training? It's pretty short. I think it's like 6 or 8 weeks. But I guess that's probably normal. Like for police training?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the gun thing,
I wonder what it would be like to have police with guns here. For sure, more of the citizens would need to have guns. And that's why I defend the Second Amendment. God bless America. So that's why the Second Amendment actually matters, is because the citizens aren't outgunned by the government.
So in America, so let's talk about this. We're not American.
Speak
so
for
it
yourself,
doesn't matter.
brother.
Oh my God. Okay. So annoying. It's like we're in a Western movie. Got it. Are you pro people having guns in America or anti? We're not. It's not our politics, but like.
Am I pro?
Canadians have an opinion on it, like
Yeah.
anti-gun, for guns. What does that look like for you?
Are you asking like?
Yeah. What do you think about that? Or should Americans be allowed to like open carry and have all these guns? And
Oh, it's a very deep conversation.
okay,
Well,
you started it.
yeah, 100%, for sure. Have all the guns you want.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Why not?
What about like the people that are like, oh, that's what's like the mass school shootings are about?
I think bad people are gonna do bad things,
Hmm.
and I think there's a lot of confusing stuff going on in America. Politically, people are very divided. Just right from birth, people have opinions on like whether or not you get to keep babies, whether they're a boy or a girl, whether, like all of these things that like in countries like this, like people like in Fiji, we just want to like make a living.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking forward to this week. Like, obviously, we have big dreams and aspirations, but like, I'm looking forward to going spearfishing.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, I don't like Republican or Democrat or like all these political. I don't care.
Okay, so there's a couple interesting things that I've heard from like people that have theories on this. It's like in countries where you have everything that you need and comfort is the thing that you're like striving for, is you start looking too much inward instead of for your day-to-day needs. And so that's when like society can go awry, because you're not every like fulfillment in your soul about how I feel today isn't fulfilled, because life is not easy and we're not always happy. But if your goal is all about me, do what you have to do to make yourself happy, it's a hard society to make perfect. Where in other countries where people are just like, what am I going to eat tomorrow? There's less of this like political turmoil, because people are more concerned about, okay, what am I going to feed my family? Do we have a roof over our heads? Do we have the things that we need to survive? So there's less like inward, like, I don't know, analysis. Yeah. And then I had this crazy thought just the other day. What? No, I had a crazy thought the other day, and I was like, I wonder, like, I was thinking about the school shooting. Someone was asking me about this, and I just like
such a dark thought.
Yeah, I like went for it, and I have this like weird theory that I feel like I might stick to it. I might not if I have like some feedback.
Okay, guys, I just want to just make a disclaimer that I do not stand by the opinions of those involved in the podcast with me.
He doesn't know the opinions of it yet. Anyway, I have this thought and theory that like maybe like extreme feminism is the reason behind all of like the mass shootings and things like this. So hear me out.
Yes.
Hear me out. So
100%.
I would love
not a problem.
I would love to be like, oh, I'm a feminist. But from where feminism has gone, it's gross in the sense of like women are wanting to be here and they're wanting to belittle men. Okay? So if you look at the United States, if you look at the United States,
grab another beer over here, please, brother.
My gosh, how like people are trying to like demasculize men. I don't know if that's even a word, but like take away like people's like the manliness of them and feminize them more. And like women are trying to be so much superior to men. There's a lot of like man bashing going on. And I wonder if mentally that is just messing with people. And I was watching this like Criminal Minds kind of show that they were talking about like mass murderers, people that, you know, go on rampages, and typically they're like white males. Okay. Mm-hmm. And a lot of feminists are bored housewives that are white women that are kind of chasing after this narrative of like, you know, men are less than us and like, woe is you and woe is you and woe is you, and like trying to champion all these like different categories of society. Okay. And then I was listening to the other day about Japan and how they also have this weird culture of like high rates of suicide, and they have some of the more criminally insane people that have created these like crazy, awful criminal murders and mass murders and things like that.
In Japan?
In Japan. Oh. I was watching a whole documentary on this, and I was thinking like, yeah, it's something to do with like society that has huge expectations and like devalues their society, and like something about like making people into nothing while asking for so much out of them. Right. And I look at the States and like where Canada's going, and I look at like the feminine movement, and it's not a beautiful thing anymore. It used to be just like, you know, treat us with equality and like we're people and like all, you know, that's great stuff. But when it becomes all this thing of like, we're better than everybody, especially men, and men should be like below us and like bow to us, that's not great. In Japan, they have such a work culture that they are enslaved to their job. Or they're shamed for not getting the best job, and there's high expectations of their performance. Don't go to Japan is what you're saying. No, I'm just saying like that kind of stuff is what kind of starts slowly twisting society. And you look at, we were listening to somebody the other day on a podcast, I'm not going to say the name, but they're asking, what do you think in 20 years? Do you think like America will be like the society that like leads the rest of the world in morality, or is like the leader in society, or do you think it's going to be Europe and the East?
Well, it won't be Europe. It'll be the East, I think. It'll be people who actually stand for something, which is the Islamic countries right now. Yeah, that's true. I think.
Yeah. Like they're very steadfast in their belief system.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they don't, they're unapologetic about like what their holy book says. Yeah. There are different people. There are people within the religion who interpret things differently. But I mean, like, yeah, America is not the world power it used to be because it has to be sorry too much. Whereas before it was unapologetically America. Like this is how we do things.
We're Canadian, so typically we're like, we're nicer than Americans. Like we're not American, but like Americans used to be.
I'm not Canadian. Speak for yourself, brother.
Yeah, I can't today. It's too much. This is like so annoying. But like Americans used to have so much pride, and I like someone that's like a little bit harsh. I like someone that's like quite bold, and so when I looked at like the States, I had like a lot of respect for kind of their like, I don't know, national pride. As much as sometimes I'm like, oh, they're like, so there's so much, but at the same time, there's something to be said with someone that's like, very proud of where they come from.
Mm.
I like that, or unapologetic about the things that they were doing on like the world stage.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, now back home, like people are just kind of like, ugh.
Do you see that video from Andrew Tate where he's like, what?
I don't like Andrew Tate.
Why? He's like your man, according to what you're just saying, like anti-feminist.
No, I'm not anti-feminist. I'm very pro-woman.
Oh.
I'm just not. I'm not pro like extreme
I'm
feminism.
trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just saying like how you're not for women, you're for men, like similar to Andrew Tate.
Okay, I just can't. I wanted to like him.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I was like, okay, give this guy a chance. Like, he's a bit of an idiot when he talks, but like, just listen to what he says. And then it's like 75% of the things he has to say, I'm like, oh, he doesn't know how to be in a real relationship. Oh, he's just kind of like a little bit of like there's like a bit of the stuff that he says that I'm like, okay, yeah, like super manly, like that's macho. I think that's great. And then the other parts of it is just kind of like you have no idea how to love a woman properly and like commit to a woman and like be a leader.
Has a long-term partner. Oh my goodness. We got freaking wolves out here in Fiji.
No, I just listen to him and I go like, you
Can
must
hear that?
have like
Is that it's unreal. That's a Rottweiler, by the way. No husky. Just
your favorite part of the night.
it's unbelievable, dude. So what was I talking about with Andrew Tate? What
I
was
don't
he
know.
saying? Oh, he was talking about like there was a snippet out of one of his. Oh my goodness, dude! There was a snippet out of one of his YouTube videos where he's like, "Men is like." So I'm a man from Canada who's reading to like somebody who sent in an email or something.
Okay.
Dude, this is getting so aggressive in the background.
Just keep going.
Harley's gotta chill.
No, just let him roll.
And welcome back to the Wild Wild West. And he was saying, "Oh, there's men in Canada." The guy's like, "I'm a man from Canada, and I have a question about." He's like, "That doesn't really go together. Like being a man and being from Canada." He's like, "Those two things don't really go together." It's like, "There's no men in Canada." And we're like, "Ooh, all right."
Well, I would full-heartedly disagree with that.
Yeah.
I would say,
Obviously, yeah.
I would say sometimes like, when we're younger, we had like friends that would say, "Oh, like, do you know any single guys?" I would say where we were living, I would say sometimes there's slim pickings. To have like a guy where you'd be like, okay, for me a qualification would be like, do they love Jesus? Are they like
what's after that? Okay, what's after that?
an attractive man?
Okay. All right.
Are they
six pack?
manly? No.
Oh.
No. Actually, I think you'd be surprised. I don't think the majority of women need a six pack.
Lucky for us.
I think like the majority of women are like fine with like a decent, like not like a big dad bod, but like
medium dad bod.
Medium dad bod.
Yeah.
I think most women are
big
fine
barrel
with that.
chest.
Yeah.
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 Gives a good hug.
Yeah.
Makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't think six packs or like being like overly jacked is actually.
It actually might mean you're too obsessed with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like there is something to be said about like there would be some guys when I was younger that they'd be like interested in me and I'd look at them and be like, "No, you're too pretty." Like I'd have to compete with you.
Right, yeah.
I would have to really put in like the effort of a lifetime just so like you wake up naturally like beautiful and I'd have to put in a lot of work to keep up with like that. Like your hair is just so flowy. It's like you have permanent makeup on, but you never like have to do anything. You just wake up just like glowing or something and they're just like so jacked out of their mind and you're like,
oh my gosh.
What
Thor?
Did you? Yeah, like it's too much.
Yeah.
And they're just so obsessed with themselves. Like they have like a huge skin routine and they blow dry their hair and they just put in like an hour before the day. And I'm not that girl. Like I'm like a 10 minutes and let's like roll out the door.
You can't have your guy doing more work on his.
Yeah, like he can't be beauty prepping for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm just like roll out and it'd be so uncomfortable.
Really, all you need is a man with strong hands, an unwavering will, and a drive to succeed. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe someone like you.
Oh,
Just got all the charm tonight,
that's true.
folks.
That's true.
We're not sure. Anyway.
What do you got?
For what?
You have some talking points.
Oh, I was going to talk about today. We did change the hours of the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Part of that, like we're just cutting down. Part of that is John and I are trying to make some good business decisions. So Senganga is off the beaten track. We get a good amount of traffic for where we are, I would say, but we're trying to find the balance of staffing. And something that's hard in Fiji is, like culturally, for like right now, actually, the majority of our staff in the store are Itoke Fijian. And within that particular culture, typically there's a lot of like community work together, right? And so a lot of the hotels you'll see, for example, hire larger groups of teams because they see that like culturally, as you're
People
brought
work
up,
better together.
people work better together.
Yeah.
At the coffee shop, we can't afford to have a mass amount of staff working together.
Yeah.
And so, pardon me, we have really passionate, beautiful women working for us. We've had to cut down our staffing just to make sure that like the store is covering all its costs. But right now they're not working in big groups. Most of the time now we're down to one staff. It is a really small shop if you guys actually come see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes in like the videos and stuff, you might be like, oh, it's like, might feel bigger in the videos. When you come in, you'll see, oh, it's just 2 small rooms. So it's easy for one staff to handle. But it's just trying to figure out how that works with like still creating like a community atmosphere within the store, like a team working together. And I think like it will be good for the coffee shop. Something we're hoping to work on. Can we talk about this with the addition in the store? We're trying to figure out some people we work with. We're trying to actually figure out if we can hand off half of our store to another company that we want to work alongside.
Oh, no, we can't talk about that yet.
I know.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway, we're just seeing if we can like put someone else in the store with us, another company.
Well, the whole, like, to be very honest with everybody, the whole issue with the little farming town we live in is we don't get any support from the local community.
That's right.
I shouldn't say any, maybe 5% support.
Yeah, like we have
5% of our customers roughly are people who live in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys are like, you know, you guys come from like Suva on the boat and like
or like
stop in on your way
Canada.
through, or overseas, or from Mombasa even, or other parts, or some Savu in Fiji. And so we knew that. We just knew that we had to put our roots down here because this is where we're from. And so we're okay with it, and we have to move and make decisions and be flexible and not be stubborn about like what the numbers tell.
Yeah.
And so right now the numbers say that like you guys don't need this many staff to run the shop.
That's
and
right.
so it's like, okay, let's figure out how we can make it more efficient.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which is good for us too. Sometimes it's really hard in business to like make a big change like that, even when it's necessary. Like we've made the change just starting this week to adjust our hours and cut down on staffing. And
But
I
we
think
probably should have made the change probably like 3-4 months ago.
We probably should have. It's just like, I think especially in like a small town, like a small space and where everybody's related to you, us, that it's really hard to kind of cut down on staffing and make those business decisions because it becomes more personal in this type of setting. And I know going forward, it's actually going to be a good thing for the store, and we actually might thrive more and be able to have them back eventually, like at least one of them. But it's just something that we have to do for now. And so I'm like, man, it's going to be, I don't know. It's a good change. I'm glad we did it now.
So we're closed on Sunday now.
Yeah. Sunday was okay. Sometimes we had booming Sundays, and sometimes we'd have like 2 customers come in Sunday.
So because we cut down our staffing, we decided like Sunday's one day that we can probably let go.
Yeah.
It was cool because we wanted Sunday for a long time because a lot of people were coming in with their families after church because there's nowhere else to go.
And we had a lot of Seventh-day Adventist people working for us.
And so now there's some other companies in the surrounding areas that offer like a way larger eating menu than we do.
Yeah.
Like our, like we have pizza by the slice, a couple options, and like all the coffee, drinks, and teas. But like if you want like a full on lunch, then you're gonna go there.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's totally cool. That's just not what we do. And so we're not gonna fight it. And so we just wanted to offer people a place to sit down around town. There's another place now, and so they can go there.
Yeah.
And then Monday to Wednesday, we've shaved off an hour in the morning, so we're open at 8 instead of 7. Then we're closing at 7 again instead of 9, Monday to Wednesday. And then Thursday to Saturdays, we're open from 7 to 9 p.m. like we always were. So
yeah, and we're hoping that's accurate. We thought we were tracking the times that people were coming in, but a few of the staff forgot to mark down the times when they were filling out orders. So we had a lack of data to make a really good educated decision on that. So we just kind of like talked to everybody and guesstimated and said, okay, I think most of our like customers come in before 7, and then on the busy nights we'll stay open and see how that goes. So I think we've made a good decision. But
yeah, for anybody who's doing business or personal, like if you have your own business, like get all the data you can. Like make an Excel sheet. Like if you made an Excel sheet and filled it out at the end of every day, just for like all the random information that you think you might not need, even like, so we have a slip that every staff member or that the person who's running the front is supposed to fill out: the name of the person, the time they came in, what they ordered, and a couple more things.
Yeah.
But the time ended up being important because we came to now and we're like, okay, we got to shave some hours off in some places because obviously there's not a lot of people coming in on certain days. So when can we do that? And then we found out from our manager that some of the people weren't actually filling in the time slips or like those forms properly. And I was like, dude, that's why we have these forms, is so that we can then collect the data when we need it to make educated decisions. It's not just for fun. Like, so obviously that was our fault for not like expressing that well enough, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so we'll be following up on that. But, it makes it hard at the end of the day to make the best decision ever. Yeah. So next time we're going to be encouraging and watching that more and make sure that's happening so we can make a good decision down the road.
Yeah.
But even today, like it was, we've bought a few electric ovens. And so far they've been really cacking out on us. And so today I had to go buy a new oven, which was frustrating because we've spent a decent amount on ovens so far. And it was annoying because I went into the bank today and I had gotten a check from Jon and it was for a certain amount of money. And the lineups at the bank in Fiji are typically very long. And then you finally get up to the teller after like half hour, something like that. And you're just like, okay, I finally made it. And I got up there and the guy's like, no, you don't have enough funds in this account to withdraw that amount of money. And I'm like, no. So I had to go back and get another check from Jon and go back with the accurate amount and go line up again. And like the worst part was when I walked back into the bank, the line was like double as long as it was the first time. I went on Monday, never go on Monday. That's when everybody does their work deposits. So any of you guys that are ever moving to Fiji, beware of Monday. You always think Friday is going to be the bad day, but Monday is the long lineups. Yeah. I can tell you that.
Dude, it's so hot right now. Are you scorching?
No.
I'm like starting to sweat so hard. Oh. What the heck? How do you feel about Fiji?
Right now?
Losing the World Cup or losing their contention to keep going in the Rugby World Cup. Does it matter to you?
No.
You're a terrible person.
Like, it matters to you. So, like, you are the one that talks about it, and you're the one that loves it. And, like, you know what? I'm just like that classic woman. This is legit. That, like, we've gone to lots of rugby sevens. We played touch rugby, blah, blah, blah. I would never, ever, 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 ever had, like, done anything in the world of rugby if I hadn't married you.
That's fair.
So... it's kind of like, I'm not like passionate about it or something like that. Okay, what do you got?
Should we ask a couple questions?
Yeah, sure. You've been looking at this.
Oh, no. I've been trying to think about my answers.
Oh, okay.
What do I dislike that most people love?
Pain. You love pain and agony.
No, but what do I dislike that most people love?
Oh. I thought it was like, what do you like that most people dislike? I'm like,
Well, now we all know that answer.
Just pain. Okay, well, let me clarify that. You just love like working out. You like something that's hard. You like to do something that's like,
I don't enjoy working out.
challenging.
That's the thing.
Exactly. You don't enjoy it, but you like it. Like you're like, oh, that was the hardest workout. My legs, I can barely walk. You're just like smiling. You're like, it's great.
Masochist.
I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so sorry, repeat the question.
What do I dislike that most people love?
Okay, you go first if you've been
Yes,
thinking about this. What do I dislike that most people love? You should have an answer. You're the one that picked this card. What do you dislike? Well,
you dislike like doing boring things with women.
and do most people love that?
Huh?
Maybe they do. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you just dislike most of the things that most women like.
Yeah, like in small doses, I like it. And I
Yeah.
can like learn to like it. Like when I'm really
Hey, you're making a lot of excuses right now for somebody who complains about it a lot.
I don't complain about it a lot. I just complain about it once in a while when you go do cool things and then I'm bored at home.
Right?
And then you're like,
It's because women do boring things.
Yeah, women do boring things. Women don't do cool things.
Yeah. That's the
So,
thing.
and then like even this like Thursday, Friday, you're going spearfishing with the boys.
Seems
And
so
you
sick.
said I could come.
Yeah.
But with me coming comes both of our children.
Okay.
And then me babysitting both of our children where you're spearfishing and like dealing
Well,
with our children crying and making sure that they're like fed and comfortable and putting them to bed and all this stuff. And I'm like, I just don't know if like it will be fun to do that. If
you're not willing to risk it. See, that's the thing about women. They're too safe. You can come.
Are you going to take both the kids? You know what? You take both the boys and risk it. And then I'll stay home.
And do what?
Just chill.
It doesn't even make sense. You want to do something fun, then come.
No, it's not fun to me babysitting the boys.
No, we'll co-parent. Tui's there.
You're going to be under the water. There's no co-parenting. There's me dealing
Alan's
with
there.
it. Yeah, exactly. All of the child, like, responsibility will land on me. I'm not saying typically that happens. I'm just saying in that particular situation.
Well, Daddy's got to put meat in the fridge. Going back to the early days of the...
No, you don't have to. This is so not true. Anyway, I just think that like if I had a friend that was like, let's go spearfishing, just the girls, I'd be like, yes, see you later.
I wish there was girls who wanted to go
I'm
spearfishing.
so out. Like, have a nice time, honey. Enjoy.
You would go too.
Like cleaning houses and making the boys dinner while I'm like out with the girls. Be so.
You like to make yourself sound like such a typical woman.
Why? How?
Huh? I clean the house and get the kids ready for school and do the ironing. When was the last time you did ironing? Why are you complaining about ironing?
I never have complained about ironing because I don't iron. I don't iron and I do not mow lawns. Ever.
That's true. That's true.
Never, ever. Those are your jobs. I will never iron. And someone in a video once was like, Seva's like school shirt's wrinkly. It will be wrinkly again. And they were like, oh, you should buy an iron. And I was thinking, yeah, John should iron their shirts.
You do have an iron deficiency.
It's not going to be me.
You need more iron in you.
Okay. What's the next one?
Who do you think was more nervous on our first date? And explain.
You.
No way.
Like a gazillion %.
What was our first date?
We went to Smitty's.
Oh, yeah.
And you had like a tie on.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. And you were so cute. You like opened my door for me. And you took me to this diner and we had like a date. And then I ordered a burger and you got a salad. And I was like, okay. And the waitress came over and handed me the salad. And then I was like, no, that's not mine. And then I was like, just a little bit embarrassed because I felt like I should like out of like I don't know, just what should normally happen, like just take the salad. But I was like, no, I don't like salad very much. And then Jon got the salad, and it was a nice date though.
It was.
It was
It was
nice.
simpler back then.
Yeah, it was just funny. And
I was definitely more nervous on our first date.
well, because
100%.
have you ever gone on a real date?
Dude, the amount of girls that I have not gone on dates with.
That's right.
The amount of girls that I've attempted to go on dates with, I can count on my 2-piece fingers.
Yeah.
And on that note.
What?
Peace.
She doesn't want to talk about his strange dating history.
No.
It's really funny. Well, it's okay, honey. It's all right. You're just shy.
Yeah, that's true.
No, and the best part is that once me and you started dating, you can't recognize this in other women, but I can. They're a jelly. They're kind of like, once they, like, it's interesting, like, okay, you're in a small town, nobody's interested in you, and because you're just like, it's just Jon. It's just like, we know Jon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden when, like, you're taken by someone, there's people that are like, that's, like, my friend, or, like, that's, like, my Jonathan. And people get, like, possessive over it.
Well, they missed your chance.
Yeah, it's true. I'm very missed
I'm
out.
just saying, my DMs are blowing up right now.
Actually, okay, speaking of your DMs,
What?
I've been going through DMs lately, and then some person was like, please excuse me for saying this, but Mr. Waka have a really nice, excuse my French, ass. He's like, excuse me, Mr.
Oh my
Waka.
gosh. Was this a man or a woman,
It
though?
was a dude.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And I died. I was
Why are you talking about this
so
right now?
funny. Yeah, well, I will say that community gives you a lot of love. So.
Oh my gosh. Can we finish on something else? You know what? And on that note, we are going to end the podcast already. It'd be really nice to not end the podcast on this.
I can't. So funny. Nobody's finishing here.
Oh my gosh. I see it. I didn't want it to go like this.
So I was dying.
I didn't want it to go
funny.
like this.
No, I could change the subject. It was just funny. I've just been in our DMs a little too much lately, having to read all the
It's true.
belligerent comments towards your body. It's been a lot. It's been blush worthy, I would say. So keep on sending them in, and I'm going to screenshot them and send them off to Jon just for a daily reminder
Please don't.
of how fit he is.
Please don't. Please don't.
I just love it. I think it's great. Anyway,
Pray
it's
for
fine.
me.
We're working on, so if you guys don't realize or haven't seen, we have our website currently launched with all the new merchandise out there. It was quite a push to get it out. The best part about it is because we're launching our Waka Media company, we're going to need the website up there so you guys can kind of see what we're doing, the content that we're creating, and we're working on a good offer for you guys. We're pretty excited. Like, we were debating the other day, I got all like amped about it at like 11 at night, and I was like, are we gonna do funerals and weddings and birthdays and all this kind of stuff, or are we just gonna do corporate, or what does that look like? So I know a lot of you guys probably want us to do weddings and funerals and birthdays and that kind of thing, and we're going to. But I think the bigger push that we're going to do right away is for different corporate documentaries and stuff like that. How do you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous? Well, you have your first one coming up
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I just want to do a good job. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I'm excited.
Should be good.
Don't be nervous. It might rain tomorrow, so bring your umbrella. You've got a Waka
Sure.
one, so represent well.
It's true.
Right? Anyway, this podcast has been brought to you by Fresh Tea and Coffee and possibly eventually Waka Media. Tui's falling asleep over here, and Jon and him need to head to bed before they have their big job tomorrow.
Sure.
So have a good night, guys.